Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of JSO, and thank you for joining me on today's hunt. Today we are in Southeast Texas. We are on an eradication property and we are about to hunt some hogs. This is a 60-acre piece of land where the homeowners live on here are absolutely sick of these hogs destroying their lawns and their gardens. Those of you that have followed the channel for a little while, you've seen me put an arrow through at least 3 or 4 other hogs on this property in the last 12 months. So hopefully we're about to make something good happen today. You know, it's been a little while since my last video. That has not been for lack of effort. I've hunted at least 8 times since that last video. I've either gotten busted walking in by hogs bedding too close to the feeder, or much like today, I've had little to no wind, 1 to 3 mile an hour winds. And when I get up nestled up in these hunt areas, I find that the wind is either blowing a tiny bit or it's swirling or it completely shuts down. I've had pigs just walk out of the edge of the woods, check the wind, and leave. Hopefully today's a little different. This is about my 8th intro I've made for these videos on unsuccessful hunts. So obviously if you're seeing this one, then everything came together. I have set up recently a tree stand on this setup. I used to have a pop-up for a south wind and a tree limb fell through that. So we're gonna be up in the air and hopefully that will help carry our scent the way the wind is truly blowing at a light direction. So while I'm walking in, I'm gonna show you the broadhead I'm gonna be using on today's hunt. And other than that, I will see you in just a few minutes up in the tree stand. All right, the broadhead we're going to be using in today's hunt is the Tooth of the Arrow S Series XL. This comes in a pack of 3. I've got one I'm about to show you, and the third one is in my quiver. Comes with this little tool to screw the broadhead on and off of your arrow without cutting your fingers. Right now on Tooth of the Arrow website, at the time I'm making this video, these sell for $40.99 plus tax. This has a 1 3/16 inch cutting diameter, or as you look from the top tip to the bottom tip, that's 1 3/16 inch straight across there. This is the XL size. The standard is just 1 inch cut, I believe. This is made out of 1-piece machined steel. That's what the S stands for in this, is solid 1-piece steel. These come very sharp right out of the package, and they're super easy to resharpen. Tooth of the Arrow stands behind these broadheads. They have a return or exchange policy within 90 days, no questions asked. Even if you've already let one fly, they'll still stand behind them. All right guys, well I successfully made it into the tree stand without spooking off any pigs. I just checked the wind and it's a very slight breeze blowing in my face up here at 18 feet high in this tree, and it is an absolute scorcher out here today. Temperature is 99 degrees with a heat index above 113, so it is extremely hot. I don't know about y'all, but I am ready for some cooler fall temperatures. Those of you that have followed the channel for a little while, you know I like to start off with a verse of the day. Today's verse goes out to the victims and family and everyone I've been praying for related to the Guadalupe River flooding. If you're not familiar with that, just Google it. What that was a massive flash flood on the Guadalupe River where sections of the river rose so massively, up to 26 feet in 45 minutes, and it washed away entire houses and camps. One of those camps being a girls' Christian camp. A lot of 7- and 8-year-old little girls, just like my little girl used to be when I sent her off to summer camp. And some of these entire buildings and structures and all these little girls and families were washed away down the river. So far that I'm aware of, there's been over 135 deaths, and 27 campers at that one camp alone, Camp Mystic, never got to go home from that. So today's verse of the day goes out to the family and loved ones of all those lost in that flood. Today's verse comes from Romans 8:18, and it says, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us." What this verse emphasizes is that the hardships believers face in this life are temporary when compared to the eternal glory that awaits them in God's presence. It encourages believers to persevere through trials, knowing that their future reward is far greater than their present pain. I continue to pray for those families and lift them up with unimaginable difficulty that they're facing. With all that being said, it is time to get locked into today's hunt. I can feel something good's about to happen. We got pigs have been coming in regularly, so I'm going to go ahead and get quiet and get settled in, and we'll see y'all for some live action in a few minutes. Well, finally, we are on the board. We got it done. Y'all probably wondered what in the world I was doing with those 4 or 5 medium-sized pigs underneath that feeder. What I was waiting for was that sow to come in. She's a little more educated, a little more mature than the others. She detected, as you see, these leaves, they are not moving. The wind is pretty much stale right now. She knew something was up. She knew I was here. Even though this is a somewhat urban area, there's a lot of activity within 100 yards or so of here, pretty often human activity. She knew something was up and just wouldn't give me the combination of the camera focused in and the opportunity to let an arrow fly on her. So after I seen all the corn on the ground had been cleaned up, I knew that this hunt was about to come to a close. So I took the biggest one of the 4 that were under the feeder, and we are about to climb down now, see what kind of damage that tooth of the arrow XL did. And I will see you on the ground in just a minute. All right, guys, well, I made it down here. I'm right here at the point of impact. You see the arrow right there. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this camera around and let's see what kind of damage we did. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what we want to see. That is beautiful. This tooth of the arrow XL. Blades are not very sharp anymore. They are still all intact. Otherwise, it just needs a little touch up, sharpen, and it can go right back in the quiver for another hog. All right, this was the point of impact. Here's the first red stuff. That's looking good. Another big wad of it. Oh yeah, things are looking promising. I'm kind of stuck at a standstill. This hog came out of this thick stuff. Here's the last few drops. You can see a little bit scattered on these weeds right here. And then it just dries up. That way heads out to an opening towards the homes. So more than likely it's one of these directions. So okay, I used that stick to mark the last blood. And then I searched over here. And I see the next speck, so we've got a direction. Let's bust through this stuff. We've got a little more. Right, some more there. Already came through this thick stuff. Got a spot here. Starting to pick up a little bit more in volume. It's good. Some more. I'm missing my tracking dog Lexi right now. And there he is. Oh, Mr. BOAR. All right, let me get him drug out of here. We'll take a look. All right, there is the exit right there on the opposing shoulder. As far as the entrance, it's a little too graphic. I can't really show that on this platform, but you saw it on the video where it entered, and this is the exit. I'd say total recovery. You can see that green light through there. Those are my feeder lights. We are about 60 yards from the feeder. So, all right, let me get him drug out of here and clean up just a little bit, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Well, that sure was a fun hunt. As you could probably tell, I really wanted to put an arrow through that sow to see what this tooth of the arrow XL did on a bigger hog. But she knew something was up. That wind had dropped down to almost 0 miles an hour, and that's never a good recipe for shooting a big hog when the wind goes to 0 and you're within close range like we were at 15 to 20 yards. She knew I was there, or she knew something was there that didn't belong, and I just never could get that opportunity to let an arrow fly. Also, there was a limb in front of me. The day I hung this tree stand, I brought my pole saw with me, but had some mechanical difficulties. I never could get that limb down, and that bit me. The very first time she came out, I had the opportunity I wanted, but my camera could not get her entire body within the frame because of that limb. It's no excuse, and this is by no means a consolation prize. My daughter has been begging me for some pork carnitas. This dude is going to go in the crock pot when I get home tonight. Tomorrow, comes out of the crock pot into the cast iron skillet, and we will be eating carnitas for dinner tomorrow. I want to thank my buddy, friend of the channel, Johnny. I met him at Outlaw Archery, and also he follows my channel here. He's the one who recommended this Tooth of the Arrow XL, and it did not disappoint. I can't complain at all. Performed flawlessly. I wish I would have seen a little better trail on the ground to follow. I like a little heavier one in these thick woods like this, but I will be keeping that arrow in my quiver. I'll give it a sharpen up. It held up miraculously, and I will put that through a larger hog, and we'll see how it performs on a bigger hog. My list of broadheads is getting shorter, so if you have a recommendation of broadhead you'd like to see, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see. I plan on getting in the woods a lot here from mid-August all the way through the end of the year. My schedule's been pretty crazy the last few weeks, and the hogs haven't cooperated. But I've got big things to come, and I hope to bring y'all some very consistent content. My goal is always to bring you a video every 2 weeks, and hopefully we can get that right back on track. Those of you that have followed the channel for a little while, thank you for sticking with me. While it's taken a few weeks for me to get another hog down, trust me, I'm passionate about this thing. Even with this 100-degree heat, I'm still out here. I'm passionate about it for me. Even if it wasn't for this channel, I'd still be doing it because I just love doing this. So these property owners will be happy. My daughter's going to be happy. We're going to have some carnitas, and I couldn't be any happier. So I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for sticking with me on the channel. To those of you new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you get notified each time we drop a new video, and you don't miss some of our future giveaways. I just want to thank each and every one of you for clicking to watch this video, and may God bless each one of you. We'll see you on the next hunt.